It's the last series of the day, and there's no tiebreaker, so these are the last two games. It is 100 Thieves taking on Dignitas QNTMPAY Academy, both Academy squads, of course. And yes, show the spatula again. Wave it around.
Got it right here. I can give chat some head pats with it. Here we go. Here you go. Good chat. Good chat.
No. Oh my gosh! As you can see, it's been a long day. We've had a blast, and you know, with the last day of the Academy regular season, me and Smash wanted to go all out for the 100 Thieves fans and the Dignitas QNTMPAY Academy fans. The stakes for this match, while not as insanely high as the other matches were, 100 Thieves Academy still can determine whether they will get second or third seed, as with Team Liquid's 2-0 over Immortals Academy just recently. 100 Thieves are technically behind and at the third seed at the moment. Now, if they were to win one game, if everything adds up correctly, if they at least one game, they will beat Team Liquid out for the second seed. But if they go 0-2, then Dignitas QNTMPAY, or then Team Liquid will be the second seed in the top of the standings.
I do believe that is true, and the second seed for playoffs actually does mean quite a bit because you do get a bye. So that's going to feel pretty good for whichever team does lock that one in. Of course, FlyQuest already locked in first, but 100 do need to win at least one game against Dignitas QNTMPAY to get that locked themselves. Team Liquid looked really good for the past few games that we got to see. And yeah, we're onto the draft for this game. We've already gone through all of the bans. The two powerful junglers are off the board. Some mages are gone. The Aurelia and the Thresh are gone. And it does feel like a lot of the really big power picks are not going to be available. But things like the Callista are still here. And ooh, it's looking like it's going to be a Lee Sin. Likely, I would say, to go to the jungle.
Hiku! That's right. Will wants to get a little bit of that early game agency. 100 Thieves Academy, though, this is the first time we've seen Varus that available and locked in for the day. Or, I'm trying to think.
King played it once.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Varus, powerful bottom lane, probably the best bottom laner, or one of the best bottom laners that we have in the meta right now. And then, of course, Syndra. Do we see the Soligo LeBlanc? Or no, we can't, because it was banned away. So about Dignitas QNTMPAY Academy. Now this would be hella spicy, Smacks. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you pick the Fizz this early on, it does give 100 Thieves Academy a little bit of time in the rest of the draft phase to start planning around neutralizing and shutting down an assassin like Fizz. You know, we're not going to be debated quite yet. The Callista being locked in gives Spawn a little bit of early agency and kill threat potential, combined with this Leona as well.
Callista, Leona, very aggressive lane. 100 still have a few options they can go for to deny that away. Did I just see an Akshan hover? Is that even allowed? Hopefully Ryoma doesn't get like a fine or something for that. As we are in the patch that he's released, but I don't think that he is legal to be played quite
He is banned.
Yeah.
You cannot pick action at the moment.
Volibear, though. So Volibear is one of Tenacity's favorite champions to play up in the top lane. Usually a counter pick to the Renekton, which basically just means that low better not pick Renekton. But it could still go to Kenvi, and I really like this draft position that 100 have put themselves in, where they're probably going to lock in support as their fourth pick after a few bans come through, and there are a lot of champions they can respond to Leona with. We just saw Ayla say that Rel is back in flavor after the revert of the previous nerf that was given.
I think the other thing to consider, too, for 100 Thieves Academy is, while this Volibear is a flex pick and could go to Kenvi in the jungle, we've seen other junglers like Anda pull out Poppy as a niche counter pick into Lee Sin, and depending on where this Lee Sin actually goes to, I know we've already kind of mentioned that this will probably be Will's pick, because outside of Lee Sin, if it's not the Xin Zhao or the Diana, then usually the other early game AD pick that he's gone for and has had success with is the Volibear, which now makes more sense why 100 Thieves Academy are early picking away, just to deny where this Lee Sin has the option to go, and it kind of pinholes it into the jungle for Dignitas QNTMPAY.
There are other options that he's going for. Things like the Rek'Sai come to mind, but not the strongest.
But do you
champion,
really
want to
pick Rek'Sai?
I don't. I definitely don't. I hate that champion. So we'll see if Will does go for it. There's still that option, but for 100, they do go for the Nautilus, pairing up with the Varus. They do have a lot of pick potential there, alongside Scatter of the Week from Syndra. So a good set of champions so far. Not too focused on dive, really just in the mid ground of a team fight. They do have a pretty standard set of champions for a 5v5.
Dignitas QNTMPAY still looking for their mid laner, as the Twist of Fate hover. It's not something that would be, not necessarily something that's going to be able to look for kill pressure against Syndra, but you can contest the lane phase, and if you manipulate the wave state well, you are able to find roam timers, and of course with that level 6, the Destiny, you'll be able to accelerate one of these side waves, as you know, this game is set up well for success if you can get Lorlo off the ground in the split push, or you get Spawn accelerated early on.
Which can be tough, though, as 100 Thieves do respond to Gnar with Gangplank as the counter pick for Tenacity, and this is a champion that he's very comfortable on up there. As a response to Gnar, they're taking their sweet time switching their champions. There we go. It's like, I don't think we're going to get Varus top, but they're coming down to the wire. Volibear in the jungle, though, will be the choice for Kenvi. It's got a lot of early agency with the point-click stun, the Bear Slap V2, as it were, and while it's not going up to Tenacity, who we have seen have a lot of solo kill success on this Volibear, it is still very powerful as a nice synergy with the Syndra. You can have a nice stun layer down, and Syndra has so much burst where you're probably dead if Volibear stuns you.
I concur. I believe that once you are CC locked for 10 million years between Volibear Q and Scatter the Weak, there is no hope for you as Syndra, aka Tommy Lay. Actually, I'm not sure what is the appropriate pronunciation for his last name. Hopefully we can get that clarified. But Ryoma and the rest of 100 Thieves have to be wary, because there is a 5-man stack in this top side river for Dignitas QNTMPAY.
Ask Worry about that first one you've got.
True! The copy-past queen herself, the ultimate supporter of 100 Thieves Academy in their Academy games in chat. We always have a blast reading them through.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a staple of the Academy Twitch chat, I'd say.
Yes.
Anytime there's an 100 Thieves team right there, you know that Worry is there with the banger Twitch memes. It's always
very
fun.
true.
And yeah, we love to see that support. I'm sure that Worry's already there right now, spamming us, as we are onto the Rift, and looks like JJ and Spawn are trying to get some early action down against Luger Poom. Ballista, Leona are definitely champions that you want to get started early. Spawn shows JJ still in the bush.
He's waiting, biding his time, waiting for Luger to step up. And now they engage the Hail of Blades into the Ren. Is going to chunk out half of Luger's HP. So it's going to be a little difficult for 100 Thieves bot lane to navigate, as Luger is forced to pop his one pot. And check out this aggressive start from Spawn, going longsword into 3 pots. So even though you have less HP and less continuous sustain, you have the immediate sustain of 3 health pots over the advantage of Luger.
Seeing this start on a lot of different AD carry champions, actually, because you do get so much extra sustain with it, and the lanes are less oriented around the heavy burst that they have been in the past. This lane's a little bit different, but Spawn doesn't have to worry about it as much, as he's the one who's doing the bursting. So, starting up with that one, and going for even more damage is JJ. Might not like this trade as much as the first one, though.
Does take about half of his HP in response. Luger, only about 100 HP. But still, Dignitas in their bottom lane are slowly trying to garner an advantage here. Will has path towards the bottom side of the map. With this push of the wave going into the bottom wave, I wonder if there's an opportunity for Will to dive with JJ and Spawn onto Luger and look for a first blood.
I'm Soligo. I'm worried about a dive on my own turret right now, considering Kenvi has the flash bear slap. and it's been pushed very drastically, but another engaged bot side. This time Summoner Spell's blown.
Oh, well, you called it, Smacked. Oh,
Yep.
God. That was so easy.
I can't say anything more. I told him so. Soligo should have been listening to the cast. So.
Well, here's the slow push into the dive onto the bottom side of the map. Luger, no flash to begin with. Spawn and Will are going to initiate the damage. Spawn will be able to pick up Luger, but a teleport comes out both from Soligo and Ryoma. It's going to make sure that Poom's life will be salvaged here, and no other further action will conclude.
Nice dive response. Dignitas equalize the kill score right there, and they get to walk right back over to mid lane. Soligo not missing a beat, even though he's just been dove. That timer's still very short, so he can teleport right on down. TF doesn't really care about his teleport being down. He's going to have a teleport of his own once he gets a little space.
And Gold Card is a fantastic ability. Point and click stun.
I agree.
Very easy. Very easy for the rest of Dignitas QNTMPAY to follow up, especially if, Solar Flare is a long-range skill shot and it comes out decently fast, but you can still dodge out on it. But if you Gold Card into Solar Flare, that's a guaranteed at least, 2.5, maybe 3 seconds of stun, and oh no, Luger, no! Run, friend!
Gold card, good. Soligo agrees with you as well. This is very, very fun. We're just predicting the future over here on the cast. As JJ and Will are actually thinking about going for another invade. This ward is gonna maybe spawn at the 100 members? No, they don't decide to clear it, so Dignitas, they're still finding some way around. JJ will have a lot of crowd control, a lot of damage. It's fine.
Yeah, Will is able to steal the Gromp away, safeguards over to the ward on the other side of the wall, and Dignitas QNTMPAY are able to walk out safely here. No summoners being blown. I'm actually really liking this, Max. JJ and Will are doing a great job of linking up, holding hands, and getting aggression down into the bottom half of the map.
What have we said about ooh-wooing on cast, Rafa?
We're in onesies, damn it. I think we've already passed that point.
You might be right about that one, but you're also right about JJ and Will. They're doing a great job of pairing up, and JJ on this Leona, this is a champion that we've seen be picked a whole lot more this week in specific, and a lot of that has been from Joey, but now JJ getting a piece of the action. And the Zenith Blades in the early game have been on point, finding all these early aggressive plays. Despite that dive that Ryoma and Kenvi put out, still Will and JJ finding these really nice aggressive plays. And trying to find that snowball too, as they do have a very slight gold lead against 100 Thieves.
With Dignitas QNTMPAY, their seeding is solidified for the upcoming Unified Grand Prix. So Dignitas QNTMPAY don't really have anything to lose. So they can, and if we go back to Danny's interview from Evil Geniuses with Kobe, or Dash on the LCS, hold that. Stun. Another stun from the shield from JJ. Not going to amount to much other than some poke damage onto Poom. Will is here for the dive as well, but the slow push is going to come in eventually. And now, Dignitas QNTMPAY. They can find the targets, isolate. Oh, but Poom just says,
wow.
Hey! JJ was pretty low, disrespecting the fact, and the dive is completely called off as the cannon barrage from Tenacity ensures that no other action comes out.
Dignitas can't do anything else after that one. JJ was most of their crowd control, but he was way too low. Poom had Ignite, had Dredge Line. They're just not respecting that at all. He's gonna come to a close with his early lead that he's been able to get. Envy even gonna steal away the blue buff. Oh, wow, forced a flash. I guess he didn't have hop.
He was in no man's land at that point, and what was that? That wasn't real flash, right? I think that was Hex Flash.
I don't know. He gave.
You know what? We're gonna chalk it up as a. No, it was a flash. Okay,
yeah.
Well. All right, I think he was looking for a potential re-engage, but, let's take a look at this replay here. They got a lot of damage down onto Poom, but then, like you said before, Smacks, being able to isolate JJ as he was the first one stepping forward is a really insane punish from Poom.
Great job. And JJ just not staying behind these minions. If he was playing on the right side, then he could have the minions as cover, but yeah, with his hook, it's very deadly. JJ has died now, and now doesn't have his flash either. So the early plays may have come to a complete stop. I don't want to count them out quite yet, but Dignitas not feeling amazing about the last two plays that have gone down. We'll see which team actually goes for these neutral objectives first. Both of them are on the board. This dragon has not been tempted a single time.
Meanwhile, on the top side of the map for 100 Thieves, Kenvi and Tenacity do have nice little item component spikes in that sheen. A lot of burst damage comes through either in trades or ganks, depending on if you're the top laner or the jungler here. Will picking up that Scuttle Crab gives him a little bit of safety, net of vision. As Poom is going to walk up into 3 members here. Zenith Blade comes out, Shield of Daybreak. And even through the Ignite and the Flash, Poom is not able to get out alive. The Fates call for the re-engage. They stun up Luger. If Will is able to find another Sonic Wave, it might be the killing blow. Kick comes out, and the Skirmishing Saber. I think between that and the red buff was enough to take down Luger even after the kick.
Yeah, Luger was so close to surviving. It was almost a tragedy for Will, but I called it before that the plays would stop from Dignitas, but boy, oh boy, was I wrong. JJ and Will still performing so well around each other. They may not have gotten themselves this dragon, but those 2 kills are going to feel great, and Will a part of all of it so far.
Kenvi immediately trying to respond and take this dragon off of the backs and the respawns from Will, Spawn, and JJ respectively. Poom is playing goalkeeper, making sure that no one can enter the dragon pit, but Poom doesn't have any summoners from before, trying to bait them back into Kenvi. Soligo's there for any reinforcements. Gold card at the ready. No further aggression from either team as the rest of the map actually collected towards the top side of the map. Will's going to be able to pick up the first Rift Herald here.
No dragon though, but Rift Herald's good for early game compositions. You can start to get the extra gold that you need. And for Lorlo, who has just kind of been coasting up on this top side, hasn't really been needed for any plays around the map, he might just have the benefit of getting that Rift Herald. Oh, Ligo, is he dead? Oh, the Q missed.
Oh, yeah. Ryoma knows it too. He's like, aw.
It's like,
damn it.
The Yumi emote is like, whoop. Whoop.
Yeah,
you didn't see anything.
Soligo thanking his lucky stars there that he was able to dodge out on the last Dark Spheres from Ryoma. The pressure is enough, though, to force Soligo on the back. Because with the Unsealed Spellbook, with Ignite, doesn't have the TP to come back to lane. This will give Ryoma one more shove into the tower. He can get a turret plate if he feels fancy about it, but he's going to just decide to go for the recall, be safe.
He wouldn't have had a great time to call if he didn't take it right now, as Liga was just arriving back. And Ryoma did have quite a bit of gold, so I like this play a little bit more. It's the less greedy approach. He gets less overall gold in the now, but okay.
Tenacity being able to cleanse the orange. Yeah, oranges are good. Teleport is also potentially good from Ryoma. Doesn't have Unleash Power, but a Scatter of the Weak will delay Soligo from being able to finish off Tenacity. As Lorlo and Soligo both chunked, sub 50 HP. Tenacity, all the same. And Will was looking for a dive onto the bottom lane. Puma's been chunked out here. Kenvi looking for a re-engage potentially on the JJ and Spawn, but just trying to make sure he can buy space for Luger to farm safely under turret.
Just good timing for Dignitas in the bottom lane, where they didn't have Envy to worry about quite yet, but just not quite enough burst damage, as it turns out. The members of this bottom lane are a little bit too tanky. Even though Luger has died 3 times, still rather resilient. Does use the Chain of Corruptions. This would be a nice angle. Could be disaster
Will
also.
has been sorted out. He walks up just to Kenvi, pops around the corner, says peekaboo. This was an unfortunate timing, as Will gives over a huge shutdown over to the bear in Kenvi, and now he's on the run looking for JJ. But the rest of 100 Thieves don't seem to want to follow up. JJ is quite tanky as Leona.
Will just staying in the must-kill, must-win momentum is... Truthfully, he should have known that Kenvi was still on this bottom side of the river, or bottom side of the jungle. He did spot him out. And yeah, he knows by the end. He's like, oh, well, there's no going back.
That moment where he walks up and he's like, I'm ready to make the play. He sees the bear. Oh, It's like, oh, okay, we gotta go, make the play happen. And it just doesn't come out in time.
You needed that. You needed the Ryoma Yumi emote right there. It's
Yeah.
oh,
we have a dive.
Nice.
Gnar ulti, but cleanse from Tenacity, and the Flash is able to dodge out on the incoming kick and the follow-up damage from Will, and Kevy's here for the reinforcements. The counter-engage. Cannon Barrage is not available, but Electric Shield, Force from Flash from Will is able to get him out alive. Soligo has made his way up to the top side of the map alongside Ryoma. No one dies in that exchange somehow, but...
Envy had Stormbreaker, but it's a little bit slow, and the members of Dignitas there are quite mobile with Hop and all the dashes of Sin. Not going to use it right there. Still has a lot of pressure on the Rift, though. You can see that Kenvi is still up a lot. Even despite all these plays that Dignitas have gone for, this Volibear scaling is going to come online. He's going to have that Divine Sunder. He's going to have all the tank items later, too, and just be this big, beefy front line that is so tricky for Spawn to do anything about, because he's got the unstoppable ultimate that he can dive in and just stun Spawn. He didn't take Lens on this Callista, so it's very dangerous for him to be in range of Kenvi, and we'll see that as the game goes on, I feel, but for right now, Dignitas are going to get first turret.
This will unlock Lorlo off the map and give him a little bit more gold in this split push war. Tenacity did finish the Divine Sunder first before Lorlo's own. I think this is Divine Sunder coming in for Lorlo, I would imagine.
I think so. A Gore Drinker, I guess, but yeah, okay. Divine Sunder is the logical play, I'd say. But after this topside turret does go down, Lorlo is a little bit more freed up to move around. Just for right now, though, and that's gonna be good because this Drake is up and Tenacity doesn't have teleport. Already used the Cannon Barrage too. It doesn't really look like it's gonna amount to much.
Solar Flare chained, but Kenvi being unstoppable in that Stormbreaker is able to get out. Poom, however, is zoned off from the rest of his team. He's going to try to make sure that he can get the rest of the dangerous members of Dignitas away, as he's actually able to pop the Immortal Shield Bow from Spawn in that exchange. The Dragon is up, and 100 Thieves have already burned a bunch of their ultimate abilities here, so doesn't look like 100 Thieves will be able to contest.
Ryoma couldn't get to the play because, again, Lorlo was freed up to move. He did stop Ryoma in the mid lane, forcing him to stay there with all the crowd control and the poke that Gnar does provide. On the other hand, though, Tenacity gets a solo turret, and I have to be a little careful of Lorlo. Does have Gnar ultimate. Doesn't he? Oh, he does use it. Wow.
There's quite a bit of chunk damage on the Tenacity. Tenacity was waiting out the ultimate before wanting to cleanse because ensuring that he could get out of the maximum amount of CC duration from Lorlo. Tenacity able to walk out, and the top side of the map is pretty even. At this point, it just comes down to who is more overextended and in no man's land when the rest of the reinforcements come into play. Dignitas QNTMPAY equalizing dragons, having made a lot of plays with the Rift Herald. The second Rift Herald is available for the taking. 100 Thieves have moved a majority of their members over to the top side, whereas Soligo, he's on the bottom side of the map. He doesn't have Destiny, doesn't have Teleport because the other Summoner spell is on heal. There's no way the Dignitas are interested in contesting for this Rift Herald whatsoever, as a mid lane play might happen. Chain of Corruptions, Death Charge, or Dredge Line, I should say, not Death Charge quite yet, but Scatter of the Weak and then Unleash Power. Luger with a piercing arrow will get the killing blow, and Kenvi picking up the Rift Herald now might look for Lorlo here, as Soligo is just trying to equalize by getting a turret back on the bottom side of the map.
AJ thought he was way tankier than he actually was. He did have the flash to get out of that, but hit by all the crowd control, it does go down. He was finding that pick alongside the Rift Herald, and with Tenacity going down bot side, I don't know if they're going to be able to save this turret. He's actually thinking about recall. Oh!
Boom, so deadly, man. But Will finds the insect. Ward hop into the Dragon's Rage. But a nice Death Charge from Poom is going to stall out the damage from Spawn. But Will has enough in his own thanks to the Gore Drinker pickup. And Will on the board once again. 3-1-3 on the Lee Sin. You can see when Dignitas QNTMPAY with this new jungler get to shine a lot more when Will is able to get off on the right footing.
Immaculate response play right there from the 16-year-old jungler. Nice insect play. He doesn't even need to use his flash. Just, wow, chef's kiss. This boom does get the flash to spawn, so that's going to be pretty meaningful later on. I already mentioned how Kenvi has a very easy time attacking this Kalista with the unstoppable ultimate and the flash available. Now with spawn, no real way to defend himself from getting stunned up by Volibear. They have just punched himself and take it to the fountain when that occurs, but see if 100 actually can respond. So far, they've responded by using that Rift Herald mid lane and getting 2 whole charges off. This game still very even, though.
Yeah, even looking in the gold lead, it's just hundreds of gold difference. And at 18 minutes, that literally means nothing, because gold lead could swing either way. Kenvi is in position to try and gank Lorlo, as he is somewhat potentially in no man's land, but he still has a turret there. It doesn't mean anything to Kenvi, though, if he uses Stormbreaker and brings the rest of the party, as it looks like they are getting ready for it.
Will, again, is in the right spot, though. He has the response timer, has all of his abilities available, too, so would have been able to mitigate that play very nicely, but he's not even going to go for it. In with, there's no real way for them to extend an advantage that they would possibly get from a pick there, or a fight at all. No dragon or anything. Go back to farming, and speaking of farm, I want to mention, too, that Spawn hasn't really been a part of too many of the plays, or at least it feels like it. He does have a lot of kill participation, but the big thing that Spawn is bringing to the table is this huge CS lead. He's up 30 whole CS over Luger.
And that is partial to the amount of investment that Dignitas put in towards the bottom lane at the beginning of the game. And JJ being able to chunk out Luger for half his HP, and then going for the re-engage, burning the flash, and setting up that slow dive for Will to be able to come in and easily get the execute under tower. The second dive wasn't so successful, of course, but, you know, this early advantage building up for Spawn, and thankfully for him and for Dignitas fans, he has not died. He has not given up this shutdown bounty. He's on his way of picking up a Wit's End second item, so not only has the safety from the shield bow, but he also has the safety to neglect and mitigate a lot of the incoming burst damage from Ryoma's Syndra.
Across from Spawn, I want to mention the build that Luger's gone for, because we've seen varying Varus builds. With the nerf of Prowler's Claw not having as much lethality on it, you're not seeing that item built as much anymore. You also can't use it on minions anymore, which is a nice little maneuver you could do on Varus. But for King especially, who's been playing it a lot, he's been going for the Umbral Blade, so playing a more utility role and still dealing a lot of damage with the lethality, but Luger does not want any of that. He wants to go straight for damage with Duskblade. He does deal quite a bit, but he's not providing his team with as much utility on it.
Uh-oh. Tenacity is about to walk into 3 people. Soul Flare comes out, and Tenacity does not want to have to take any chances, just burns the Respect Flash. Boom is here for the response, but I believe this turret will go down. Dignitas QNTMPAY effectively being able to eliminate 2 structures on the top side of the map in exchange for the 3rd dragon of the game being soloed by Kenvi. 100 Thieves, still not that far behind in gold. It's literally about 500, 800 gold difference for the boys in red, and looking across in the boys in yellow. Dignitas QNTMPAY, they still have the advantage in terms of this early game lead, but we're getting slowly to the point where this mid-game fight, and I think the next fight that breaks around the Baron will really swing in momentum towards the team that is victorious.
Good time to bring up what this game actually does mean. If 100 Thieves win a single game in this best-of-2 series, then they are your 2nd seed for Academy playoffs. If they lose both, then they're 3rd. Liquid second. So for Dignitas, they are playing for Team Liquid with their wins. And also just for their team morale, you know. Wins feels nice. But if 100
Winning
Thieves,
is also fun.
Yeah, if 100 Thieves... Oh, wait, look at this.
Kenvi's been routed off. Solar Flare and Will's engage from the Sonic Wave into the Resonating Strike was used onto the bear. Kenvi has been chunked out despite being a very beefy bear. Oh, yeah, they don't have Flash. Loro has just scooped him up right into the waiting arms of Will and Soligo. They use Destiny to be able to collapse onto the bottom side of the map, but now we have two isolated skirmishes. JJ in the jungle trying to follow up on the rest of the engage from Dignitas, but Kenvi with the Stormbreaker is able to go in. Will, though, wants to go into 1v3, has the Gore Drinker, finds Kenvi with the Dragon's Rage. But Will goes down over to Luger, piercing our arrow over the wall, and Spawn in a 1v2. He's able to navigate his way around, and the gold card is going to force Fate's flash over the wall. What the hell is this? 100 Thieves, though, still have way more damage in their back pocket, and now Spawn is on the run. No shield bow. Still has the flash. He's going to be able to use the Scuttle Crab to give him a little bit more hop, skip, jumps. Spawn gets out alive.
That was a deadly exchange for both teams, both members. Both squads lost so many members in that one. Shutdowns galore. Will got shut down. Kenfi got shut down. And a couple of those bounties are still up, but let's just watch this one again. So first of all, Lorlo plays this very well. He actually finds a nice isolated set of crowd control onto Tenacity, makes the oranges happen just before Saligo gets there, so the gold card is, you know, it's reigns supreme in all its crowd control glory. But on the other side of this fight, JJ, there's nobody around there, man. You can't really make that engage work out as well as you'd like it to without any follow-up.
And then this part is where things got really hairy, because this is a 1v3 for Spawn.
Yeah.
But he navigates away from Poom, takes him out with the Ren, and then Soligo coming in for the reinforcements, forcing Luger's flash. Means that Spawn is able to get out alive. However, Soligo trades his life for Spawn's.
It's a nice comrade move right there. Soligo helping out the
honorable
here for Dignitas QNTMPAY Academy.
Hey, you know, Spawn has the shutdown bounty, and Soligo doesn't have any kills to his name, so, you know, he's just...
He is gold card bot. He went for the full utility build, the rapid card cannon Everfrost.
Hell yeah. He's accepted.
Crowd control. Yeah.
Yep. Accepted his role graciously. The next dragon is about to spawn in about a minute's time. 100 Thieves are 2 dragons away from Soul Point. This means that Dignitas need to make sure that they are the first ones to the punch. Gonna find a capitalization on Luger, knowing that he burned Flash in the last exchange, and he's gone. Great job from Dignitas, isolating the AD carry of 100 Thieves. Now Dignitas are gonna make their way towards this Baron. They do have this Kalista, great at soloing neutral objective control. They're gonna force the 100 Thieves' hand here.
This Baron, no Luger available, which means no poke, no lockdown with the Chain of Corruptions, and AJ finds a great engage.
Ryoma is forced back, using the flash to disengage away from the rest of the fight of Dignitas. Will gets knocked up by the Baron Tentacles, and the Cannon Barrage is now going to give 100 Thieves a potential to re-engage. Watch for Lurla, though, building up the Rage Bar. Could still go Mega and throw the rest of the 100 Thieves into the wall for CC Kane. But 100 Thieves have enough damage and enough power and force to be able to get Dignitas out of the Baron Pit. And now the Dragon is going to spawn just in time for 100 Thieves to take.
And I misspoke earlier. I've been corrected, and I apologize for my previous mistake, but for 100 Thieves, both of these games do actually matter quite a bit. They need both wins, actually, to take over Team Liquid and be the second seed. I'm getting updates from our production. So, thank you, production, and I apologize for earlier. Envy does lock down that dragon. They're only one mountain dragon away from getting that soul at this point.
So correction. So 100 Thieves actually have to go 2-0 in this series in order to maintain second seed. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh god, what did I say wrong? And I had to go look. Okay. But, our apologies, chat, and apologies, 100 Thieves fans, as I imagined that the panic was settling in. It's like, hey guys, that's not correct. But, you know, now that has been settled, 100 Thieves. One thing that you always have to keep in mind if you're Dignitas is that if you're doing the Baron and Cannon Barrage is primarily magic damage and the magic resist shred comes in, you saw how hard the Cannon Barrage just completely just ripped apart Dignitas QNTMPAY on the exit and the retreat. So that is something that is going to have to be in the back of their mind, even if Ryoma is there, because Tenacity will be bringing the damage even if he's not there thanks to that global ulti power.
Got the teleport too. So even if he does not, even if he does want to actually be there physically, he can. Ryoma have any means of escape from this.
Yep, gold card stun into kick into just pure damage. It's the shutdown netted over for Soligo. 100 Thieves were trying to teleport in to save Ryoma's life, but they are now on the retreat. Dignitas still having the numbers advantage against 100 Thieves. No Cannon Barrage. Still have the Stormbreaker, the Chain of Corruptions, and Death Charge if they want to look for the re-engage, though.
No Ryoma, though. Again, Dignitas are just finding these really nice picks before the big plays that they actually want to make around the neutral objectives. See if they can keep this one going, though. Chain of Corruption.
Oh, they find the combo onto Lorlo, though, and now the numbers advantage is no longer there for Dignitas. And 100 Thieves, despite losing Ryoma early on, they are now on the aggression. They are now on the chase. They find another dredge line on the JJ, but a beautiful shield from Will is going to keep himself alive. Boom is able to make it out. Doesn't go down. 100 Thieves still fighting blow for blow and just ensuring that Dignitas are not able to find any more leads outside of the kills that they are able to isolate and find.
And again, Rafa, I'm really enjoying the picks that you're mentioning for Dignitas. They are finding great options there. Again, first on Luger, then on Ryoma, can turn onto the Baron, but for Lorlo, he didn't have any Mega Gnar left, so Poom has the easiest time finding that dredge line and killing him from there. And the Chain of Corruption, too, for Luger. Again, this bot lane pairing here for 100 is so strong with the pick potential that they have. It's being shown again and again. Probably will continue. 100 Thieves have brought themselves back up in the gold lead. It's still so slight, though. This game is still anyone's. It's very, very close. Trying to find yet another pick.
Will and JJ, knowing that 100 Thieves are collapsing and rotating towards this second-tier turret. 100 Thieves trying to knock it down, but it's not going to be enough damage, as now they are going to be on the run. Lens comes out from Tenacity. Beautiful! Gnar ultimate, the Soul Flare follow-up! Holy camole! Dignitas QNTMPAY are going to be able to eviscerate 4 members from 100 Thieves, and Luger's the only one left standing. He has the flash, but Will might be able to find a ward hop over the wall. It doesn't look like he has it. Faith will be able to get out alive, but good God, Smacks, that was filthy.
Samson Jackson right there on the Gnar finds the scoop onto the whole team, and Dignitas find a teamfight victory. They're teleporting away. They want to find the full ace. Can they get onto Luger, or will they just turn to Baron? I think that's just a zone threat for him. Luger can't get in. Dignitas may have just found their way to snowball this lead to a victory, Rafa.
Good God. I need that replay again.
Let's watch the low.
You know what? No cast. Just... Yo!
Delicious. And Will cleans it up, too. Double kill for him, finding the kill under Ryoma. Everyone's falling in line, and the playmaking from Lorlo, even though he knows he's gonna die, he knows he's low. Well, he's Lorlo, but he's low on HP in that play, too.
God.
Knows what he needs to do, and he's gonna have to do it again, because 100 Thieves are about to find the Drake Soul, and Baron is temporary. Drake Soul is forever. Always remember that.
Solar Flare onto Poom. Resonating Strike connects. JJ with the Fate's Call will interrupt Poom's dredge lane out to safety. Looks like Kenvi was able to pick up the Scuttle Crab. They find another re-engage onto Spawn, but he has a stopwatch to buy some time. Stormbreaker comes out from Kenvi. Spawn and gets shut down by Ryoma. And 100 Thieves are bottlenecked in here. Will is just trying to get the damage down thanks to the AoE from the Gore Drinker. Lorlo, can he get enough damage down? Who is the dragon going to go over to? Soligo secures it for Dignitas QNTMPAY, and they ace 100 Thieves.
Another set of kills for the rookie jungler, Will. He's up to 9 now, and they take the 5-for-1 ace, denying the dragon. They still have Baron on lock. They might take a bunch of turrets. They might even take an inhibitor off of that one, even up in the top side. Teleporting up there is Soligo. Look at him go. All the cards into the turrets. Man, oh man, Rafa. Dignitas and 100 Thieves have had a close back-to-back brawl all throughout, but the past few team fights have been all things Lorlo, all things Dignitas QNTMPAY, and they may be denying 100 Thieves that second seed.
Like we said, and had corrected, 100 Thieves, if they drop just one game, they will no longer get second seed, and that will go over to Team Liquid. So, honestly, Team Liquid Academy might be the biggest Dignitas QNTMPAY fans right now, as having second seed, as you already said before, Smacks, that will guarantee a bye in the Academy playoffs. And just look at being... When Spawn went down, I thought that maybe there was a chance for 100 Thieves to be able to get back. But then, the re-engage, Will is... Between him and Lorlo, they've been just dominating, absolutely tearing up these fights. As Kenvi might be isolated here. He still has Flash if he needs it. He's going to use the Stormbreaker first.
Just loving the way that Will is playing the Rift. The early game, the late game, the team fights, everything. This is the rookie jungler that Dignitas been looking for to honestly save this team, because they had a lot of roster struggles that we were scratching our heads with. Like, man, what's gonna happen with the jungle position for Dignitas? What's gonna become of Acadian? He's going up to LCS. What's gonna happen? Will's gonna happen, and he is going to carry his team to victory. They're taking down all the rest of the turrets on the map. Dignitas QNTMPAY with this new jungler is just looking so dominant, and 100 Thieves are one of the strongest teams in the entire split in Academy, mind you.
This is technically for almost the longest time, as Will goes for an insect onto Ryoma. Ryoma, is he going to go down? The shield comes out, but Will still finds it along with Lorlo. Will still has a GA. He has a second life. They've eliminated one of the members of 100 Thieves Academy. Lorlo in Giant Meganar form, and no one is touching Spawn. They're able to just continuously rain down chaos against 100 Thieves, and Spawn is on the chase, looking for Kenvi. They have the face call for the follow-up. JJ will give his life for the greater cause. Tenacity will be the only member left standing. It might be enough, as Dignitas are waiting on a couple other minion waves to come in. Lorlo does have teleport, though, and they're going to be looking to make the ends of the game one.
Wave clear is big for Tenacity, but the turrets are already falling. He can't withstand a 1v3 for him. Lorlo's even going to dive and kill him before they even end the game. Dignitas QNTMPAY Academy have denied the second seed from 100. They take a win in the final day.
We still have one more game, technically, Smacks, as it is a best of two between Dignitas QNTMPAY and 100 Thieves. But honestly, for Dignitas being the 9th seed going into ending the regular season, and then as one of the seeds going into the Unified Grand Prix. If we think back to the interview that, as we wanted to bring up earlier, Danny had with Dash in the LCS, sometimes the lower teams are the ones that you have to fear the most when you're at the top, because they don't have anything to lose. They can play fearlessly. And for 100 Thieves, you know, I don't know if it was in the back of their mind that, oh, this, you know, if we don't 2-0 this, we don't get the second seed. I mean, they're still going to Academy playoffs. There's still time to develop. There's still time to make adaptations throughout the series. But, you know, second seed, having a bye is a lot nicer for Proving Grounds qualifications and seeding, because Academy playoffs, the place that you end up and finish in that determines the seeding going into the Proving Grounds tournament in September.
Such a huge denial from Dignitas there. I mean, Team Liquid gonna be giving them some high fives over there across the Rift. United in rivalry there, as some of our teams like to say, across the world. And for 100 Thieves and Dignitas, this next game doesn't really matter that much. As it turns out, all the seeding's already been locked after that one, but you know what? Now both teams have nothing to lose, Rafa. Now they can both go for all the plays they could possibly think of. So I'm expecting some fun times out of this last game.
I would be down for just a hell of a game to bust out all the crazy picks, you know. I think that would make the end of Academy regular season super awesome. But I also want to be surprised if both teams just play as they normally would, because it is stage time. And, you know, essentially, you can take it as a glorified scrim.
We're not advocating both of these teams, for trolling here.
Yeah. You know.
Oh, boy.
But both teams, we'll see how they decide to approach our last and upcoming final game of the regular season for Academy Summer 2021. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back with the last game.